of Another World.
Finally back for you, but well, look at your marvelous tan.
Oh,
Mrs.
yes, I
Corey.
worked a lot outside. I didn't realize I was getting so much color.
And you didn't wear a sunbonnet, did you? She had her breakfast yet?
Yes, I fed her before Brooks picked us up. Brooks, would you go get the rest of Amanda's stuff for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Oh, it's good to be home.
I can't tell you how good it is to have you both home again. Oh, did Amanda enjoy her little vacation?
Oh, yes, she made lots of friends. What's different? The drapes, they've been cleaned.
Yes, Brooks and I decided to do the spring cleaning while you were gone.
Everything looks so wonderful, Louise. Well, speaking of cleaning, we've got to get this one all cleaned up and take her to her bath.
Oh, she hasn't had a bath yet?
No, I didn't want to rush it before Brooks got to us.
Okay. Well, I'll take her up now.
Okay. Oh, Louise?
Yes.
I was surprised to get that phone call from Brooks last night.
Oh, I'm sorry if we distressed you.
I didn't expect Mac to badger you and Brooks about where I was.
We were so anxious to see Amanda again.
Well, it sounds to me as though he thought I took her away out of spite.
I'm afraid he does think that, Mrs. Corey.
Well, that's not true.
Oh, he couldn't understand why he wouldn't allow us to tell him where you were.
Well, I just didn't want anybody to disturb us.
Shall I take this straight up to the nursery, madam?
Oh, that's all right, Brooks, I will. And, Brooks, I haven't thanked you for calling me last night.
Louise and I didn't know how to deal with Mr. Corey anymore.
He really threatened you with legal action?
Well, yes, he said he'd get a court order forcing us to give away your whereabouts.
Oh, I don't think he would have gone through with that.
I think he would, madam.
He was extremely angry, Mrs. Corey.
Well, I'll talk to him today.
Oh, well, just please try to understand his point of view.
I won't have him harassing you and Brooks.
Oh, well, he said he had no choice.
Well, let's get this one up to her back. Here, sweetie, come on.
Okay.
Looks as if her holiday did us some good.
Oh, yes. You know, every afternoon, we would all the artists would meet after work in the main hall, and she was the center of attention.
Oh, did you get some of your own work done?
Yes, I got 3 pieces. You want to go to Louise? You can.
Okay.
Shall I bring your sculpting things in now?
Yes, would you? Thank you. Louise?
Yes.
I was sort of hoping I'd hear from Jamie when I was
Oh, Mrs. Corey, we would have called you if we'd heard from him.
I tried to get him out of my mind, but I couldn't.
I'm sorry.
Have you heard from Mom?
Oh, yes, Ada called several times.
Does she know I'm back?
Yes, I called her. I called her right after Brooks talked to you last night.
Oh, okay. I'll call her in a minute. Did anybody else call?
Yes, Mr. Bancroft came to see us several times.
What did Brian do?
He was trying to find out where you were, too.
Yes, sweetie, come here.
Yeah.
He
Might have
was.
come to Mommy?
Oh, you mean that he was getting in touch with me for Mac?
Oh, yes, and so was Mrs. Bancroft.
Oh, well, it looks like I stirred up quite a hornet's nest then.
She tried to browbeat Brooks and me into telling her where you'd gone, but we wouldn't.
Good for you.
Oh, and young Mr. Bancroft also stopped by to see you.
Ted?
Yes, he said you'd promised he could buy a piece of sculpture from you.
Oh, that's right, I did.
I told him I'd tell him when you were back.
What's that? What's that? Well, let's wait a couple of days on that, okay, until I talk to Elena? Look, that's where you
Yes.
Okay? Listen, I think I got to call Mom now, okay?
All right.
Oh, Louise, would you get that? If
Yes.
it's Mr. Corey, I don't want to talk to him until I know what to tell him.
I understand. Corey residence.
Louise, it's Brian Bancroft.
Good morning, Mr. Bancroft.
Ted?
No, Senior. I'm sorry, Mr. Bancroft, I didn't hear what you said.
I said I've got to get in touch with Mrs. Corey immediately.
Oh, Mrs. Corey, he wants to speak to you. It does sound urgent.
Okay. Well,
Bath time?
bath time for her,
All
okay, or she'll never get it.
Come on. Here we go.
Brian?
Rachel, you're back.
Yes, just barely.
Oh, I'm relieved that you're home again.
What's going on, Brian?
Oh, I've been having a devil of a time with Mac.
About me?
He's all fired up about taking legal action to force you to bring Amanda back to Bay City.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you've talked to Mac?
No, Brooks called me last night and told me that Mac had threatened him with legal action.
He just called me about putting that into motion.
How can he intimidate them like that?
Rachel, the man's been desperate.
But, Brian, it's not as though I took Amanda off to China or something.
Oh, Mac wasn't sure you'd come back.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Well, how did you think he'd react?
I didn't expect him to go to pieces and threaten everybody with legal action.
You don't seem to understand how much you and the baby mean to him.
It's just Amanda he wants to see, Brian, not me.
I don't agree with you.
Oh, you don't?
No, and you know very well I'm right.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you about it.
Well, Mac will calm down once he knows you're home.
Brian, don't tell him.
You don't want him to know?
I want to tell him.
Look, Rachel, you stop by my office before you see Mac, please.
Why?
Well, there are certain things that he wants to proceed with whether you're home or not.
What things?
Legal matters pertaining to Amanda.
Well, he can tell me about those.
Rachel, I insist that I go over with them with you first.
It's that drastic?
Well, they're drastic enough. Look, you and Mac will not be able to discuss this reasonably if you hear about it from him instead of me.
Okay.
How soon will you be here?
Well, Brian, I just got in. I've got to settle Amanda in and do some other things first.
Before lunch?
Yeah, okay.
Good. I'll wait for you here.
Well, don't tell Mac I'm here.
No, Rachel, I'll let you do that.
Okay, I'll see you later. Bye. Mom, where can you be at this hour of the morning?
Tell me what to do. What do you think about going to work?
I mean, getting a job?
Yeah, why not? I mean, you could be a whole part of that whole big, wonderful world out there again.
Oh, I'm not trained to do anything.
You are a very, very good seamstress.
Seamstress? Nobody needs that kind of thing anymore.
Wrong. Now, a lady came to see me just yesterday to find out if you could do some special sewing for her.
I'm not gonna make clothes for other people's children.
It's nothing like that.
Then what is it?
Now, this lady is a very successful dress designer, and she needs somebody who will make sample dresses from her designs.
Oh, I don't understand what that is.
Well, I'm not too clear on it either, but she'll explain it to you when she sees you.
Who is this woman?
Dennis Carrington's grandmother.
Do you know her?
Well, I just met her, but she's a friend of Mac and Rachel's.
Oh, I see. So she's doing this as a favor to them.
Now, will
for
you
me.
knock that off?
I don't want any charity from anyone.
She
Ada.
wants you because you are very good at what you do, and she needs you now. Now, will you just stop arguing about it and listen to what Mrs. Kozlov has to say?
Well, I'm not committing myself to anything.
Nobody's asking you to. You know what? I think that you and I could use a cup of tea. Now, let's go downstairs and make it and talk about it.
Well,
Look. I get lonely, too, you know. So let's keep each other company. Okay? I'll tell you what. I made the guys some sweet rolls, and they're just hot out of the oven. Why don't you come over to my house?
can't go out like this.
You know what? You're right. Okay, I'll tell you what. You fix the tea, and I'll go over and I'll get the sweet rolls, and I'll bring them over here. Okay?
Rachel?
Hi. I'm sorry to disturb you, but there wasn't anybody out front.
No, that's all right. Mary Ann went on some errands, and I'm filling in for her.
Oh, Mary Ann's still working here?
Well, it started out as temporary until Eileen came back, but
Eileen didn't come back.
she took another job.
Oh, so Mary Ann is filling in here until you get somebody else?
Nah, looks like she's going to be here permanently now.
Oh, well, that should be nice for you.
Yeah, it should be.
How's your mom?
She's bearing up very well, thanks in part to Mac being such an understanding boss. Was there something we could do for you?
Yeah, I need to see Brian.
All right, I'll tell him you're here, okay?
Okay, and give my love to Mother.
Yeah, I will, thanks. Nice talking to you.
Yeah.
Rachel.
Hi, Brian.
I think I better close the door. It's a great relief to have you back with us.
Look, I'm sorry if I caused all sorts of confusion when I went away.
Well, it's a little more serious than confusion, I'm afraid.
Why?
Sarah. You've provoked Mac into something that I hope we could avoid.
What?
Mac is not going to tolerate your taking Amanda away without notice again.
I know I shouldn't have done that. I moved too quickly on that.
Well, why did you go away?
I just thought it was the most sensible thing to do at the time.
I don't understand why.
Brian, I've hardly been alone with my baby since she was born. Everybody else always takes care of her. Sometimes I feel like I'm not even necessary to my own daughter. So I just wanted to get away with her alone for a while.
Was that the only reason you took her away?
The only important one.
What was the other one?
I wanted to get her away from Mac for a while.
Why?
Brian, he has the most overwhelming affection for her.
Well, you think that's bad for her?
He buys her extravagant gifts. He lavishes attention on her.
Rachel, you sound as if you're jealous of her.
I'm not jealous of her. She's my baby. I just don't want him to spoil her, to turn her into another...
You were about to say another Iris, weren't you?
I'm sorry.
Don't apologize, please.
It's just that Mac realizes he spoiled Iris and that she might be a different person today if he hadn't done that.
And Mac is aware of that danger with Amanda.
Well, he tends to forget.
Well, there's no reason why you can't discuss the situation with him candidly.
Well, because he gets defensive when I make the comparison.
Oh, look, Mac is a very warm, affectionate man.
I know that. I'm not trying to deprive him of sharing that with Amanda.
Well, he thinks you are.
I just think we both have to guard very carefully against turning that child into some person that neither of us would admire.
Look, perhaps you'd better wait a little before you go into this with him.
I'm not trying to hurt him.
I'm afraid you have. He was almost beside himself with apprehension about Amanda and about you, too, for
I
that
know, you
matter.
told me on the phone.
Yeah, we don't always understand the people we love as well as other people do.
What are you trying to tell me?
Well, just that the very qualities you love in Mac make problems for you. His ebullience, his quick response to everything that make living with him exciting and difficult at the same time.
I know. I never get as angry as anybody as I get at him.
Yeah, well, he'd probably say the same thing about you.
Trouble is that life is unbearable without him.
Well, you just keep that in mind when you talk to him. And you'll deal better with your immediate future than you have with the immediate past.
Thanks, Brian. I'm glad I talked to you. Maybe things will be better for me now that I'm back than they were when I went away.
And now, the next part of Another World.
Michael, is that you?
Oh, excuse me. I didn't realize there was anyone in here.
Oh, who are you?
Oh, I'm Marie Bitzer. Mrs. Randolph, I presume?
Miss Randolph.
Oh, I beg your pardon. Mr. Randolph didn't tell me whether or not he was married.
You spoke to my brother?
Oh, yes. Yes, we've been in touch for, a week or so now.
Well, what are you doing here?
He told me I could show the house.
I don't understand.
Mr. Randolph has put the house on the market. And so I brought Mrs. Kincaid to look at it. As you can see, it's one level.
Is there a basement?
Yes, I think so. There is a basement, isn't there?
Excuse me?
Mrs. Kincaid was asking if there's a basement.
Look, I think there is a big mistake here.
Mr. Randolph left the keys with me just last night.
Yes, but we agreed not to sell the house.
Oh, well, you really should have notified my office.
Well, I'm very sorry about that. I thought my brother would take care of it.
It's very inconvenient and inconsiderate for Mrs. Kincaid.
No, it's all right, Marie.
Oh, young people are so inconsiderate sometimes.
I'm sorry. There was a misunderstanding between my brother and me.
Well, may I call him from here, please?
No, I'd rather you didn't.
But I have to show Mrs. Kincaid several other houses before I get back to the office.
Yes, well, I hope you find something you like.
Thank you very much. Let's not waste any more of the young lady's time, Marie.
Oh, excuse me. May I have the keys, please, since you won't be needing them?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Goodbye, Miss Randolph.
Goodbye, and I'm sorry that Michael caused you so much trouble for nothing.
Randolph and Bancroft.
Hi, Brian, it's Marianne.
Oh, aren't you coming in the office today?
No, I'm sorry. I've been delayed.
When will you be in?
I'm not sure.
Is something wrong, Marianne?
Look, Brian, can I speak to Michael, please?
Oh, he's out to lunch at the moment.
Do you know when he'll be back?
I can't say.
Well, do you know where he went?
No, I'm not sure.
I've got to talk to him right away.
Well, he'll be back when you get to the office.
I don't think I'm going to make it to the office, Brian.
Well, then something is wrong. Is Pat all right?
It has nothing to do with Mom.
Well, can't you tell me what it is?
Brian, I can only talk to Michael about it.
Okay, I'll have him call you when he gets back.
Look, better yet, why don't you have him drop by the house instead?
Is it that urgent?
Yes, I have to see him right away.
Okay, I'll pass it on to him.
Thanks a lot, Brian. Bye-bye.
Hello, Mrs. Gordon.
Oh, Mrs. Benton.
I am sorry to keep you waiting, but I had to take over for a teacher who was ill.
Oh, it's all right. In fact, I should apologize that our problem is taking up so much of your time.
Oh, no, don't worry about that. We all want to help as much as we can. Won't you sit, please? We are all so upset about Sally's leaving.
Yes, so am I.
We feel sort of responsible here at the school because we didn't recognize her trouble until she ran away.
Was Sally in trouble here at the school?
Well, not really.
You don't seem very convinced of that.
Oh, well, Sally's a very headstrong girl, Mrs. Gordon.
Yes, I am well aware of that.
And she was a little older than some of the other girls.
Did that cause problems between them?
No, she got along quite well with the other girls. But she resented the restrictions that we had to impose upon her.
What kind of restrictions are you referring to?
Oh, early curfews on weekdays and chaperoning when the girls went on shopping trips, things like that.
Are you saying that Sally was hard to discipline?
No, she was, well, let me say she just wanted her own way more than some of the other girls.
I understand. Mrs.
Banta.
Banta. I wonder if I might see the letter that you mentioned, Alice.
Oh, yes, of course. I've had copies made. This is for you, and these are for our files, and this is for the police.
You've contacted the police?
No, they contacted us when the store called us about the shoplifting.
Oh, well, I was hoping that we could talk to her before you brought in the police.
Yes, I know, but I couldn't keep this from the police. I had to show them the letter.
She's absolutely right. Mrs. Banta, would it be all right if we took Sally's things with us up to Boston this afternoon?
Oh, yes, of course. Mrs. Gordon can pack them, if she will.
Yes, I'll ship them back to Bay City tomorrow.
But we must tell Sally where her things are in case she wants to pick them up.
I have no objection to that.
I will ask one of the girls to show you her dormitory.
Thank you.
I won't be long.
I just wonder who this someone is that Sally says will pick up her things.
You're afraid that it's a boy, aren't you?
Why do you say that?
Well, from what you told me before Mrs. Banter joined us.
Well, I assumed that Sally was staying with someone, but I guess I took it for granted it was another girl. Now I don't know what to think.
Hi.
Hi, honey.
How's your day?
Fine.
Can I help you with anything?
No. Everything's done except that salad that your Uncle Paul likes to make for himself.
Okay.
There. Now we can talk.
I really can't talk to you right now.
Why not?
You wouldn't believe all the homework I've got.
Well, you can do that after supper.
I'd really rather do it now and get it out of the way.
You going out after supper?
No, I thought I'd practice the piano for an hour or so, okay?
Good. You've let your practice go since you've been seeing so much of Joey. Don't go, Eileen.
Aunt Rita, I really don't want to hear anything about Joey.
We've got to talk this out. Now, come on. Sit down. Please.
All right.
I don't mean to keep harping about the situation, but I'm really very displeased with the way things are.
The way what things are?
You've become far too serious about Joey.
I've been serious about Joey for months and you never objected before.
I didn't have a reason to object before.
Well, you don't have a reason to object now.
I can't approve of him anymore, Eileen.
Joey's done nothing he shouldn't have.
It's his family that I disapprove of.
I don't understand. You're always saying that you like his mom.
Well, I do like his mother. I feel sorry for Rose because her daughter's broken her heart.
Oh, Aunt Rita, come on.
That girl is living with a married man.
She's not living with Willis.
That's what I understand.
Well, you understood wrong. She is just staying in Willis's apartment while he's in New York, that's all.
Well, what happens when he comes back?
Angie told me and Joey that she's going to go find a place of her own.
What?
Aunt Rita, Angie will not be in Willis's apartment when Willis comes home.
You're sure of that?
I'm positive about that. She told us so herself. So if you ask me, I just think you're making a big deal about nothing, all right?
When did you and Joey see Angie?
We stopped by to say hello on our way to dinner last night.
I see. Where did you have dinner?
Angie insisted that we stay and eat with her.
In that man's apartment?
Yes, Aunt Rita. Angie made a lot of ravioli, and she didn't want it to go to waste.
Eileen, I don't want you visiting her in that man's apartment.
Why not?
If people see you coming and going out of there, they'll think that you're as bad as she is.
Oh, Aunt... Are you telling me that I can't even be friends with Joey's sister?
That is exactly what I'm telling you.
Well, that's just too bad. Because I'm already very friendly with Angie.
You were, but you won't be anymore.
I'm not going to drop her any more than I dropped Joey.
You're going to drop Joey, too.
No, I'm not.
Eileen, I've already told you you can't see him again. I'm not going to argue about it.
I'm not going to let you make that decision for me, so you better just give up.
These are memos from the legal department.
Right. Oh, translations of the French contracts are here.
Yes, and Miss Diarden worked overtime to get this done for you.
Oh, nice of her. Would you remind me to thank her?
Well, I've done that for you, Mac.
Well, I'd like to do it for myself, Liz. All right?
Sorry.
Excuse me.
Here's some memos from the production department.
I haven't finished with this one yet, Liz.
Oh, that's all right, Mac. I'll wait. Don't hurry.
Who did the translation of the Russian contracts?
Karen Campbell got someone from the university to do that.
Now, Scott should mail copies of these to Amand Duval in Paris.
I'll take care of that.
I would like for Scott to take care of it, Liz. He should put a note in to Amand about the specific clauses.
All right, I'll take it up with Scott in the morning.
He won't be here in the morning.
But he's supposed to be back today.
Well, he called while you were out at lunch. Things are more difficult there than he thought they would be.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he may not be back to his desk till next week.
Did Scott get any more information about Sally?
Well, he didn't go into detail with me, Liz.
Oh, Mac, I wish you would have asked him.
Really, Liz, that is nothing to do with me. It's not my concern.
I'm sorry. It's just I'm so worried about my family.
I know your idea.
Well, I'll call Alice tonight when I get home.
I think maybe you ought to wait a while on that.
I have to know what's going on, Mac.
Scott says Alice is very upset. Liz, you're only going to make it...
I'll make it worse. No, excuse me, Mac.
Now, Liz, please.
So why does everybody treat me just as if I'm some sort of a busybody?
I'm sorry, my dear. I really didn't mean to get that impression.
No, I know you didn't. I'm just oversensitive, I guess.
Now, come on. Let's pull ourselves together and get on with those production memos, shall we?
Oh, I think I heard... Wait just a minute. It's Rachel. Oh, Rachel, you're back.
Well, I had to come back eventually, Liz. Hello, Mac. No hello? Liz, would you leave me alone with my husband for a minute?
I beg your pardon?
Would you leave and close the door?
Okay, Liz.
Well, that's a very good watchdog you have.
That's not amusing, Rachel.
I'm sorry. I guess I'm nervous.
Well, you might be.
Is that all you have to say to me?
No, I have lots to say. I just don't want to lose my temper.
Very well, I'll wait.
How could you do what you did to me? Say!
I'm sorry.
I've been worried sick about Amanda, and you're sorry.
Amanda's perfectly fine.
Well, how can I know that?
Mac, I do know how to take care of a baby. I brought Jamie up just fine with nobody's help.
So you're telling me you got to bring Amanda up?
I'm not saying that.
Where'd you go?
I was at the McMaster's art colony.
You took Amanda there?
They have facilities for children.
I don't want my child hanging around artists.
Oh, Mac, come on.
Well, yes, I withdraw that.
Yes, you should. We're going to get a number of wonderful portraits of Amanda.
What do you mean?
Well, they were practically queuing up to use her as a model.
Well, I'm not surprised at that.
No, neither am I.
Why did you take her away without telling me at least?
I'm sorry I did that. I just had to get away, Mac.
I didn't know if you were ever going to come back again.
I belong here.
You mean that?
Well, that's what I had to think through.
That's why you went away?
Not the only reason. I also wanted to be alone with my baby.
Our baby, Rachel. It's our baby, not just your baby.
I know it is, Mac.
I'd like to be with her some, too, you know?
Sometimes too much.
Well, I don't think there's anything unnatural about a father loving his daughter.
I just don't want you to spoil her as you have Iris.
Now, that's the second time you've thrown that in my face, and I'm not going to put up with that
Don't be
anymore.
angry, Mac. Just think about it. For Amanda's sake, not for ours. You don't want her to turn into another Iris any more than I do.
No, I can't think of anything worse.
So can't we talk about it?
Yes. I apologize to you for yelling at you.
We both owe each other apologies. I had no right to react so impulsively just because you wanted to see Amanda when you could.
You mean you're willing to talk about that now?
That's why I'm here.
Can I come see her tonight?
Sure you can. I've invited Mom and Nancy for supper.
Don't worry about it. I won't stay long.
You'll stay and eat with us.
I will.
Well, unless you don't want to.
I can't think of anything I want to do more.
Good.
Maybe we're going to be able to work things out, you think?
Well, we've worked worse things out. I have to go. I have to pick up Mom.
Hey, Rachel.
What?
Oh, baby. Oh, darling. Oh, sweetheart. Oh, so good to have you home.
It's good to be home, Mac.
You don't know how I have been raging at you.
I missed your rages.
You did?
I missed everything about you. But, darling, we still have to settle some things.
What things?
We'll talk about them tonight, all right? Say goodnight.
Okay, kid, ready to get back to work?
You're certainly in a marvelous mood.
I certainly am, and I'm going to stay that way, too.